I want a divorce. Right now. Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage and unfortunately this will be the very first time that I don't have that many positive things to say about an Indian movie. When I didn't end up liking one in the past, I simply didn't bother to make a review for it. Because what's really the point? But now I'm at a point where I think enough of you might be interested in hearing my opinion about a new movie as big as this one. And after all, it was released in cinemas here in Austria and I just saw it. And I guess it's not all terrible, but it most certainly wasn't that good. The movie I'm talking about is called Veere the Wedding, not to be confused with Veere Ki Wedding, which is another Hindi language wedding comedy that was released in March. Veere the Wedding was directed by Shashanka Ghosh, and it is the first time for the Bollywood superstars Kareena Kapoor and Sonam Kapoor to appear together on screen, which was something I was looking forward to. Dennis the Buddy Meister, who was lucky enough to have missed out on this one, and I got to first know Kareena Kapoor in Three Idiots, and since then I've seen her a few times in other films as well. Sonam Kapoor just starred in Batman, which I really loved, and now they are both together on screen, alongside Swara Bhaskar and Shikha Talsania. These are our four best friends, and if there's something working quite well in this movie, it is the chemistry between them. You really get the feeling that they have known each other for years, and they behave like old friends, teasing each other, but in the end being there if someone needs help. The film begins in the past, where they just graduated from school, and it just took a few seconds and I knew that this wasn't a movie for me. There's no style or any artistic value to be found anywhere. It comes across as a cheap TV series, like a soap opera. The camera is super close, each person is filmed in very centered close-ups. Transitions between scenes are very sloppy. There's constantly some background music playing, almost always to hammer in a certain feeling or joke. And speaking about jokes, this is a comedy foremost, and there are barely any jokes in it. It's just very vulgar with a lot of profanity that's not really needed most of the time. It's loud and crass, but without any cleverness to it. It reminded me a lot of American movies like the Adam Sandler vehicle Grown Ups. That is just about a bunch of rich friends doing crazy things. There are some very few surreal moments where a character imagines something and it gets visualized for the audience. Those were kind of funny, but it only happens like 3 or 4 times. Veere the Wedding, like the title suggests, is about a big wedding. Kareena Kapoor's character gets engaged at the beginning, even though she's one who never wanted to get married. Then her 3 best friends join for the festivities and zaniness ensues. The movie plays as a constant succession of wedding-related get-togethers. This all might have functioned as a satire and criticism of all those social norms and rules, all those things involved with these big weddings, all the artificial spectacle and customs, but the movie's not nearly clever enough for that. Each of the girls have one major problem in their life. One was outcast by her father because she chose an English husband. One is in the middle of a bad divorce, one is almost 30 and still single, and Kareena Kapoor's character is overwhelmed with all the wedding stuff, and there's also this old conflict between her father and uncle. All these mentioned problems could have added tension and emotion to the film, but the way the story is structured and played out, how we are constantly treated with just loud silliness, it simply doesn't work. And especially when all problems in the film get solved like this. On one hand, this is this constant swear fest, and on the other, it's super soft and fluffy and absolutely surface level at all times. At the beginning of the second half, our 4 friends seem to have a big fight, but the very next scene they decide to take a vacation together, and all of it is forgotten. Veere the Wedding shows us these 4 friends having a good time, and the filmmakers seem to hope it is enough for the audience to have a good time as well. And I know that I'm definitely not the target audience here, and the 3 young women who were sitting next to me in the cinema appear to have had a great time with the film. But from a filmmaking perspective, this has zero ambitions, or maybe it does when it comes to empowerment and breaking up old restrictions and mindsets, but there's not much there. There are some genuine moments that I enjoyed. For example, when Swara Bhaskar's character tells her parents the truth about her divorce, or when Sonam Kapoor's character and a certain someone start something together towards the end. But overall, the characters are nearly interesting enough to deserve any deep engagement from the audience. And when a comedy forgets to include real comedy into it and chooses flashy party montages instead, just for the sake of it, well, it's not good. One can always say this just aims at a pack of friends who just want to have a fun time at the movies, and there are moments where the chemistry between our 4 lead ladies can spring over to the audience, but I don't think this is nearly enough. So in German I'd say, Veere die Wedding kann man sich leider wirklich sparen. Unsere 4 Freundinnen wirken sehr natürlich zusammen, aber der Film ist alles andere als natürlich. Er ist weder sonderlich witzig noch emotional, hat keinen künstlerischen Anspruch und so ist es am Ende eine wirklich sehr, sehr flache Angelegenheit. I give Veere die Wedding 5 out of 10. It's more like 5.1, but I don't do that. Normally at this point I'm doing my whenever a movie scores less than 6, I give you 3 better picks section. But to be completely honest, I realized that my knowledge of either really good wedding movies or more shockingly, good films about female friendship is quite underdeveloped, and that's a real shame. I mean, of course I could recommend you with Thelma and Louise or The Philadelphia Story starring the great Jimmy Stewart, but I think those are a bit too far away from Veere die Wedding. So I ask you, what movies would you suggest, and also what's your favorite movie from India that doesn't just contain a wedding, but where a wedding is a big central part of the story? And of course also tell me what you think about Veere die Wedding, and if you liked it, what is it that you liked? Until then, you can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram simply at The Jimmy Cage. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like, and make sure you hit that bell for all I have to tell.